All right, welcome into a Monday edition. Al, you're looking handsome.
Good morning, Jerry. I have a bunch of very random things that I thought about
Oh, I like
over
random
the weekend.
topics. Okay.
Very random topics. First of all, and most of these are like things that I like. I get up. Unfortunately, a dog wakes me up early on the weekends,
Sure.
so I have a lot of time to think of stuff to talk to Grok about. I'll just like ask questions and things.
Mm-hmm.
So I go through a lot
You
of
do that with
things.
the speaker or on the computer?
No, I type.
You type it.
I
Okay.
like to type. Yeah, I don't like listening back to it. So I was interested. I was like, okay, so I probably should have a game plan. I'm going to retire from radio, probably 5 years, whatever it is.
Right.
I said, I don't have a game plan. I'm very passionate about like food ingredients and
Yeah.
things. So I was like, let me look into this. Do you know that in my research of looking into this, each state is different
In regard to?
in regard to this? In New Jersey, I right now today can call myself a nutritionist.
How?
That term is okay to call yourself a nutritionist. I cannot call myself a registered nutritionist
No kidding.
or a certified nutritionist, but I can call myself a nutritionist
I didn't know that.
and I can
Charge people.
do lectures and things, charge people. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You can't, there's a lot of rules in it. You could give nutritional advice to people, but you can't give nutritional advice for particular
It's got to be vague.
diseases people may have. So I could give you I can call myself a nutritionist and tell you what you should
Mm-hmm.
buy in the store and what you should avoid. But if you come to me and say, I have diabetes, how can you help me? I can't.
That you're prohibited from
Right,
by
because that's
law.
a disease or
Yeah.
a condition. I can't do that.
Interesting.
So it's really
a slippery slope,
It
man.
is a very slippery slope.
Wow.
And you can't call yourself a dietitian. But the phrase nutritionist. But if you go to Florida, you can't call yourself a nutritionist.
You have to be certified.
Have to be certified.
And then should be.
So that you should be. I agree.
Although I don't know what they're teaching you anyway.
Yeah, I looked into it. If you want to go become a nutritionist or a registered dietitian, it's you need, I think in New Jersey, you need to have a master's degree in it.
No kidding.
Yeah, so it would like cost you a fortune and all this crazy
So
stuff.
you're out on that.
So I'm out on that. But I might just start calling myself a nutritionist.
Why not?
And taking on clients.
You could do that and help them change their eating habits.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I guess I mean, I guess I could. Which then got me thinking about there's so many different pizza places and Italian restaurants.
Yeah.
In this area in particular, right? The New York, New Jersey,
For sure.
Connecticut, Long Island,
Really
Staten
everywhere,
Island.
but we definitely see it here.
Yeah, we definitely see it here. And people are very proud to be Italian. I always thought it's one of the more...
It's so funny you bring this up. I just had this conversation with my son the other day.
Yeah,
I
think...
He asked me why I don't, flaunt is not the right word. He's like, why don't you... I'm like, because I'm American. I was born here. I don't look at myself as that. But yes, you are right.
Like of all the nationalities you could be, people love to be Italian. Like I know, like even in high school, if someone was just part Italian, they'd wear the Italian horn, like they were
Not
Italian.
Me. Yes, I know them.
And I was not. I don't think I'm Italian at all. If I am, it's just a minuscule amount. But like, there's this proud. People are very proud to be Italian, and my thinking would be if you were very proud to be Italian and you were to open an Italian restaurant, I would think you would want to serve Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
But these people are serving the bad ingredient version of Italian food, which is like, when people talk about, if you go to Italy, everyone has this experience. If you go, they come back, they go, I couldn't believe I had pizza and pasta and bread every night, and I came back, I lost 5 pounds. That's because of the wheat that they're using and the tomatoes they're using and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't use those ingredients when they open up a place here in America.
My guess would be it's all financial.
Right.
It's all financial based. All that stuff's more expensive.
It is.
And rent here is absurd.
Yeah, but that at some point they must talk themselves into the idea that I know I'm serving the crappy version of Italian food, even though I'm proud to be Italian.
Well, I think, first of all, this whole eating clean thing is really, it's not new. We've known how you should eat. But this has really been like a tornado. The last like 15 months, everybody's an expert now. Everybody's reading ingredients. Everybody's got a YouTube channel telling you what to do. This was not a conversation 2 years ago. It wasn't. It's gained steam and good. It should. Not disagreeing with that. I don't think anybody in their right mind that opened up a restaurant 3 years ago was thinking about we got to have clean ingredients. We got to, otherwise Bobby on YouTube is going to out us, or someone's going to show up. You're giving us crappy sauce and there's sugar. No one thought about this a few years ago.
I still don't think people are like legitimately. I don't think it's.
I think well, I don't know. My guess would be some might even want to do it, but I don't know if you can compete.
Right,
and that's a problem.
I think people do want to do it. I do think people that are of Italian heritage and want to open an Italian restaurant, they want to serve you legitimate Italian food. But I think you're right. I think you can't compete.
If I open up a pizza place tomorrow and I did that and my pies are clean and the best ingredients you can get, but my large pie is $26 because that's what it's going to take to actually turn a profit, but I can get it for 16 and it's the crap. I mean, honestly, who do you think's going out of business?
Yeah.
I am immediate. I don't think I last 3 months.
Yeah. I know it sucks.
It does. But it also comes back, like I told you, when I think I was in Seattle and I was walking down to the fish market to see it. And I saw 2 chain fast food places and a healthy fast food place. It was pretty obvious which one was empty. And it was like, why not? There's no one there.
Yeah.
The other 2 places are packed. One's more expensive. And I don't know. I don't know how. I agree with you. People think about it more for sure. But you got to make the move and the change. And people aren't doing it.
Like, what's more Italian than olive oil?
I would think that you start there.
But
it starts there.
All these places, their olive oil is not olive oil.
That's also education too. Like I've been blown away learning about, like, all these years, the olive oil we have bought, I thought was fine. It's not until recently that I learned it's crap. I didn't know. I thought we were doing the right thing. We've since switched. A lot of it is education too.
Yeah, I know. I did one of my favorite things, which is I went to the Bradley Beach Facebook page.
Okay.
And was asking if anybody knew of an Italian restaurant or pizza place that served with the ingredients of
Italy.
And I didn't get a lot of answers. There is a place in Ocean Grove that I think comes pretty close. But
okay.
The really expensive part of that is the flour that they use in Italy. It's called like either 00 flour or 00 flour, zero flour.
You got to bring that in from Italy.
You can buy it in the store, but I'm sure it's expensive.
Yeah.
And probably you're right to make a pizza out of it, and then what you would have to charge for that pizza is probably too much.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah, I know, it just bums me out, like, because I want to
makes you not want to go anywhere.
Yeah, I want to eat good Italian food.
Yeah,
and then people will, like, someone's going to hear this and go, Fernando's in. Well, are you sure? You don't, just because the food is good,
tastes good, right?
and the guy's from Italy.
Yeah,
does not mean that's what they're using.
What about restaurants in Little Italy? You think those are any different?
I don't.
You don't?
No, that's a good question. You know what? That's a good question. I think again, they probably initially start out with, I'm going to serve the best ingredients.
Right, good intentions.
And then they notice their margins are terrible. Yeah. And they go, the most expensive thing we're buying here is this extra virgin olive oil from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
What if we cut that with, canola oil, soybean oil?
I mean, I'll give you the example you always give. The Shark Tank. People will come on with a really good product built in America, but it costs more money. And the first thing they say is, I'm interested, but we're going to China. Like, we're not. It's just too expensive.
Yeah, he's like, what's that cost you to make that? It cost me $6.95. You got to get that down to 50 cents.
Yes. We're going to Vietnam.
Yeah.
I know.
You're right. People go in with the best of intentions.
I think they do in a lot of cases.
The financials.
Because you got 2 different things at work, profitability and survival.
Right.
I think in the food industry, it's survival first, because you got to compete and make an imprint in the area if you open a place. And then once you do that, can you survive if you're competing? Yeah. And are you turning a profit enough to, people don't, I know it sounds crazy, but people don't realize like how expensive it is to run these businesses.
Yeah, it is very expensive. And then I always love like a place will get successful, right? And they'll be like, and then all of a sudden the landlord will be like, "Oh, we're raising the rent."
Yeah, it
Oh,
happens all the
okay.
time. Happens all a friend of mine that owns a bar, they just raised the rent on them 30, what did he tell me? 32%. Like out of nowhere. Their lease was up and they
Right.
started negotiating, and that's the number they came back with. What are you supposed to do?
Right. Your entire first of all, your location is there. That's where
Correct.
people know you are.
Yeah.
All the structure inside is built for your
Mhm.
restaurant.
They have you.
They got you.
That's why I was actually looking at businesses this weekend on Biz Buy Sell. I don't know if you ever checked that website
I
out.
used to. I used to look at
Yeah,
that.
I was looking at that one, and there was one place in particular. I'm not going to say what type of restaurant it was, but it was one of these fast food type of places, and it said still 14 years left on the lease. Now that I'd be interested in because I guess they initially signed a 20-year lease or a 20
Wow.
something like that. At least you've got a piece of paper that you can't raise the rent on me for the next 14
Yeah.
years. I know what that's going to be. I see some businesses that are like 3 years left on the lease. Ugh. And then what? We double the rent on you.
Right.
And then you're screwed. And you can't even sell the business then.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Not easy, Jerry.
Not easy.
I did book a vacation, or at least
Look at you.
I did book flights.
Nice. Where are we going?
So I talked to Grok
Okay.
to narrow down a vacation spot. I was asking Grok, I wanted to go somewhere in July or August.
Okay.
That's not really humid.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps Grok, a place that people go to in the winter that's really too cold, or a place that's too cold to go to in the winter, but would be fun in the summer that
You get Colorado?
I'm not thinking of. No, it didn't give me Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. I also said I need direct flights from Newark.
It's pretty good, but you're
Okay.
loving this grok.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love it. And it knocked it down to a couple different places, and I settled on, after talking to Grok, what I like, Bozeman, Montana. So in July, Jerry, heading to Montana, big sky country, Jerry. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. You think I should have asked a few more questions of Grok?
Yeah, like you should ask your girlfriend if she's interested.
No, she's interested.
But what do you do in Bozeman?
Well, it's just an outdoorsy vibe, Jerry. A nice down.
Okay.
They've got a little downtown area. You can go to Yellowstone for the
Okay.
day. Fly fishing. Not sure. It's a good question.
Fly fishing in the overalls.
Yeah. With the rubber boots.
Imagine you and Gina killing each other out there.
Yeah, in Montana.
Hey, you know what, man? I'm all for new experiences. I go for it.
I figure I want to see Montana.
I think that's great. And they have direct flights.
they do
How would they get you round trip?
for 2 tickets. So
Yeah.
for 2 tickets, round trip was just over $1,000.
Okay, so 500 each.
Yeah,
Well,
500.
that's fine. I mean, Florida's 400 each now. So,
Yeah.
all right.
But now I've got to, and then strangely enough, believe it or not, July and August, very busy there.
Is it really?
Yeah. So I was looking at hotels, so very expensive. I was
Oh,
like, well, now
geez.
what? Then I thought, like, maybe I should try. I always hear people have good luck with Airbnbs.
I was just going to say that.
I still don't
See,
trust that yet.
I think that's great, but there's something about just staying in someone's house that doesn't feel like a vacation.
Right.
I don't
can
know
see
why.
that too.
And I'm not saying you need to be in a hotel, but some sort of vacation community makes me feel like I'm away. I don't know.
Yeah. Now I agree. There's tons of people that, because there's a lot of skiing there in the winter.
Yeah, sure.
There's tons of people that just have condos and houses that they just rent out.
Yeah.
If I wanted something like right downtown.
Yeah.
And there's really, Grok came back with 3 different hotels that
Okay.
said these are downtown. Here's what they are.
What
So
are we talking, like 300-400 a night, 500 a night?
yeah, it's like 4, probably average 400 a night.
Yeah, which after all your fees and taxes, you're probably
Yeah,
talking 500 a night.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
That's not going to be a cheap trip.
No. And then you got to rent a car because you're in the middle of Montana.
That is true. That's going to cost you $700 for the week.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe
Yeah,
more, actually.
I know. And like the minute I booked this, I was like, what am I doing? But you have to do stuff, right,
Yeah,
Jerry?
yes. You
Tell me
can't
that. You have to do stuff.
100%. You know, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
You can't sit in that place every day. You have to go somewhere. Now, I don't know that I see you in Bozeman, Montana.
You don't see outdoorsmen when you look at me, Jerry?
Well, no, I do. It's funny. I do. On one hand, I do. The hiking. Like, I remember you in Arizona. You went on the nice long walk in the mountain. Like, yeah, I could see a day of doing that. I could definitely see you spending a day downtown and the coffee and a nice dinner and all that. Then what happens?
Then what happens?
Like, is there I don't even know if you're a lake person. I'm not a woodsy person. You don't hunt, you don't fish.
I go MILF hunting, Jerry.
Regina, you're not going alone, Al. So how long did you book this for? The airfare?
Let's see, 4 nights. So
That's not
5
too
days.
bad. You know what? That's
5
fine.
days.
No, you'll be fine because what I just laid out is 2 days.
Yeah.
You can figure out, and a day you said at where'd you say Yellowstone? So that's 3 days already. We figured out. So now you'll be all right. You'll probably enjoy it. It's different.
I think I will.
The air will be crisp.
I think I will.
People will be nice.
I'll tell you the other options.
You might not come home.
that Grok threw out at me.
Yeah,
Flagstaff, Arizona.
See, that interests me.
But no flights. You have to fly into Phoenix and then either drive, which is
3 hours.
2. It said 2, but it said like it's in the mountains. It's Arizona, but it's not humid.
That's interesting.
In the winter. Then it threw out.
I'm surprised you didn't choose that because you love Arizona.
I did until the flight.
Oh, okay.
Until I couldn't. I would. It's a long flight, and then you got to drive 2 hours. Threw out Asheville, North Carolina, but I think that's still. They're still in trouble from the hurricane that we haven't.
Yeah,
it's in the process of rebuilding itself.
Still?
Yeah, so that one came up.
Good choices so far, though.
And then I asked it about South Carolina.
Okay,
I said I really like South Carolina.
Humid though, right?
Yeah, it was like, well, based on what you're looking for here.
Yeah,
it did give me Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay,
it said it was a little less humid because it's more
inward or more towards the water.
No, this one was more inland.
Because even Myrtle Beach is by the water. Myrtle Beach is like death. In July. I mean,
the
humidity is brutal.
It was basically saying, maybe not South Carolina.
There's a place in Georgia that has intrigued me just from the times I've driven down 95, and it's like a beach town.
Yeah, there is a place in Georgia that I've heard of people going to now, which I'd never heard people going to Georgia.
Me neither.
Other than Atlanta. So yeah, I have.
I'm excited for you.
Talking to my Grok.
I'm very excited.
So if anybody out there has been to Montana,
Eddie has, right?
He has, but when I told Eddie, he was very excited.
That's great.
Very excited.
Very good.
Hotel recommendations, of course.
Now, will that be it in terms of going away this summer?
Oh yeah,
or will
I
you
go
try one
else.
more somewhere.
No, that sounds like
you
too
take
much
every
money.
other week off.
I do.
So you would just stay at your place like every other week?
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, one of the weeks it's 4 weeks in the summer. One of the weeks I'll be there, and then 3 weeks of staring at my own walls.
Well, that sounds really exciting when you put it that way.
Well, part of me felt weird, like going like, okay, South Carolina, like Hilton Head, or I'm like, I'm right across from the beach
but it's
now.
different. I know
it's different. Yeah.
It's different people. It's different restaurants. It's different visuals. It's out of your condo.
Yeah.
The dog is in a hotel. Your dog free for a week. It's just the water's warmer. It's just different.
It is different.
I get that point. I do, but it's just not the same.
And then finally, Jerry.
Oh, finally.
You'll find this interesting, I think. Next month, Boomer has his big event.
Yeah.
And we go into the city for that.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, neither you nor I had our significant others with us.
Yeah, I think I'll be solo again, actually.
And you and I put on our suits.
Yeah.
And we got on the Staten Island ferry.
Yes, we did.
Walk right across right there.
Free ride.
Went to the event, back across.
Yeah. It was phenomenal.
It was tremendous.
And part of this, too, for people that don't know, is it's like the event is pretty close to the ferry. So it's amazing.
There. It was amazing. I would have a hard time doing that with a woman in a long dress.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do? So here are I go, okay, I could get a hotel. So I laid out all these different things, Jerry.
Okay.
I had booked a hotel at first, which was cancelable. I booked a hotel.
Okay.
I said, instead of getting a hotel, what if I just took a nice car service from Bradley Beach to the event? They wait around. They drive me back home.
Okay.
Or, do you take the C Streak, stay over, and
okay,
all these things.
Sure.
What do you think it costs to take a car service? And by the way, I called around. This was the best rate I found. to
A
take
whole night.
to take a car from Bradley Beach, New Jersey, not a stretch limo,
Yeah.
but a nice car.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Beach, New Jersey, for an event that starts at 6:30, and I want to be picked up at midnight.
And you're talking 8 hours probably.
Yeah, 8 hours.
$800.
$720.
Yeah.
Jerry,
And
a
that's not
flight
even.
to New York doesn't cost
I
$720.
know. I'm thinking about fuel. I'm thinking about time, the sit around time. I'm thinking $100 an hour. And it's $720 without gratuity.
No, so this
Oh, that
guy
was?
told me it's tolls, it's everything.
Yeah.
All in $720.
I mean, just gas and tolls alone is going to be $50.
Right.
That's right off the bat. It's $50. Now you're also hiring a guy to serve you for 8 hours.
Right.
I mean, and before tip, I mean, yeah. You're right. You could get a helicopter probably for cheaper.
When I was doing the math on the hotel was like 5 something, right? Okay. So then I still have to get into the city.
Yeah.
So am I driving in? I would never be able to figure out where to park over there. So in my head, I'm driving into here,
Why don't you do the boat?
the C Streak.
No, the Staten Island Ferry.
Well, I thought of that too. The Staten Island Ferry.
Is the hotel not near there?
The hotel's not far from there, but now
a
you're
pain.
getting on the
Yeah.
ferry with bags because you're
right,
not going to be
right.
dressed up.
Yeah, I gotcha. That's a pain in the ass.
It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Every way around it. I ended up booking the car. $720.
So you booked the car.
Yeah.
Okay. Do what you got to do, man.
$720.
I'll be on the Staten Island Ferry.
Yeah.
In and out that night. So if you change your mind or maybe she doesn't want to go, you let me know and we can do it again.
Yeah.
Mine's going to cost me $9 in parking.
Yeah.
And tolls. I do got to pay my tolls.
Yeah. You got to pay your tolls.
That is true.
$720. For a car ride.
Yeah.
Into New York, where you and I drive here every day.
Why not? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You couldn't take 2 Ubers? Couple $100 each way and save $300? I can't imagine an Uber is more than $200 in.
Well, it's a good question, but the Ubers are more than you think. Because even like I was looking at the C Streak.
Yeah.
The C Streak, by the way, is like $50 a ticket.
Is it really?
Yeah. Round trip. Trip. But then the C Streak is not near the event or the hotel.
You go to Atlantic Highlands. Oh, where it drops you off?
Where it drops you off. And an Uber in New York City now to go anywhere is like $35, $40.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know.
A round trip. It was all.
Yeah.
I was like, I was trying to think, what will I be less annoyed at? Would be not driving.
Staying home.
Staying home always.
Of course.
But not driving myself. So,
no, the driving in is, I totally understand.
So I had a rough day yesterday. I booked these plane tickets. I booked this car, Jerry. I was just like, saw all my money falling out the window.
Spending cash.
I mean, it was just.
Well, if you'd like to trade, I had a echocardiogram for a cat the other day that cost me $870.
For a cat.
Yeah, for a cat. And that was a week after we spent $1,000 on x-rays and an MRI for him. Yeah, same cat who's hanging on by a thread right now.
How old is this cat?
Only 9, which is why we spent the money to try and figure out what's wrong with him. 9 or might be 10. He might be 10 actually.
And cats live like if a cat stays healthy.
First cat we had was 19.
Wow.
Yeah, we thought it was the greatest thing ever. So we got her. We got her when she was 2, and we had her until she was 18 or 19, and then we got this cat Julius, who's the one that we always see on TV during the pandemic.
Julius.
Yeah. So we got him 9 or 10 years ago, whatever, and then got another one with him. We got 2 at the same time. And the other one was a female Dahlia. She died of feline AIDS or cancer, or I forget what it was. Not AIDS. It was feline cancer or something.
There is feline AIDS, though.
Yeah, it wasn't that. I forget what she had, but 2 years old, she died.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, okay, well, that's rare. So then we got the one that Boomer helped me out with.
North Shore Animal League.
North Shore Animal League. That's Callie. She's good right now, but he's only 10 and he's got heart disease, kidney disease. We're trying to keep him out of kidney failure because once that happens, it's brutal.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And what do? You just let them know. I mean, we spend the money, and so I will trade if you'd like.
No, I will pass.
It is. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it sucks. So, but that's what we're dealing with. So, money in, money out.
Money in, money
fascinating.
out.
It really is.
The great Notorious B.I.G. said it, Jerry. Mo money, mo problems.
Something like that.
Or something.
Yep.
All right, Jerry, let's do the warm-up show.
All right.
A normal week this week. Me and you on the warm-up show. You
Yeah.
doing updates.
Well, I'm out
Boomer and
tomorrow,
Gio.
so
What?
it's almost. I'm just kidding.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.